Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I told you 1,000 likes, I'll do another episode, and then I proceeded to, I ghosted you for like a week. Maybe a week and a half, to be honest with you. Here's the deal. I don't want it to come off like I'm not grateful for all the support on this series, because genuinely, this has been one of the most fun series for me to do, and I'm extremely grateful that I get to share, another side of me, right? Like a side of me IRL with you guys in my YouTube content. Typically, I'm just the roguelike guy, but for you guys to be interested in a programming series is really, it's just very fun for me. The issue is that at the beginning, when it was just some simple, plant wheat, move forward kind of things, easy peasy for me to do, and not be like overwhelmed and have it be like a lot. The mazes were a lot, dude. Like I did not have in the back of my brain how to do a breadth first search algorithm while recording a programming video. So it just kind of put me off of the game a little bit, only because it's a layer of complexity that when I sit down and I basically do a job that is coding for 9 hours, and then I get off of my day job and I move into this job, and for me to then do more coding and have it be in a lot of ways more taxing than the coding that I did during the day, it's just a lot, okay? So I apologize, I've had to get into the right headspace to do another episode of The Farmer Was Replaced here. Today, we're going to hop in and we're going to attempt to do cactuses. I've prepared everything so that I can come in here and I can just hit the unlock cactus button. You'll see that I've basically accumulated a ton of everything so that we're good to go on unlocking things. I can unlock dictionaries, which I'm just going to do right now. We'll see whether or not I need them. I'm going to unlock cactuses, so that we have them, and we'll look at what that is. We're gonna wait on dinosaurs. I mean, I suppose I need 5,000 cactuses in order to do dinosaurs, so that's pretty fair. I mean, this is an upgrade to the golden treasure chest, so I do think that that's actually probably valuable to do. Access to the cost of things. I'm just gonna not worry about that right now. I think I'm happy, okay? I think I'm happy. A lot of you brought up 1,000 ways to do the maze. A lot of them are absolutely genius. I'm just gonna keep mine that is bad for right now. Maybe sometime in the future, I'm gonna come back to this and I'm going to make a better maze system. I had completely forgot in the last video that when you call measure on the chest, it tells you where the next one is. That effectively allows you to do a breadth/depth first search algorithm. And that would make this very easy. You guys provided some awesome examples. Maybe I will just steal one of yours and plug it in so that we can see it work in its full potential. But yeah, that we're good, right? We're definitely good. We got a lot going on here. Let's maybe set up this thing to while we read our stuff here, we can get some more pumpkins. Okay. So this will just harvest pumpkins. I think I increased the speed of our drone as well, so this is like an alarmingly fast, he's an alarmingly fast boy now, and we just make bank on the pumpkins. I mean, this is going to be 1 mega pumpkin. Bro, plant it. Why are you flipping so much? Are we in an infinite loop somewhere? We are in an infinite loop. How the hell did you end up in an infinite loop? I guess just harvest and go again. Something had to have gotten. Oh, we're just all kinds of messed up. My code, my code, so inefficient, so trash, so terrible. Yeah, somehow this is. Somehow this code. It's like our guy is way too fast now. I think that's genuinely the issue. Is he's way too fast. There is another solution to these pumpkins that I should make at some point. And it's basically the idea of, now that we have fertilizer, I can theoretically just sit on a spot and continue to insta-grow it until it is ready to go, right? Because I'm going to tell you, this is absurdly broken at this point. And I think it's genuinely that our guy is legitimately just too fast. He's okay every once in a while, but he's way too fast. We'll let that run. Let's see what's going on here. So cacti can be grown on soil from cactus seeds. They have an odd sense of community. Okay, when you harvest a cactus, all cacti on the field are harvested. The number of cactus items dropped per cactus is equal to the world size. Okay. Per cactus, okay. A cactus only drops items when harvested if it's in sorted order. So a cactus is considered to be in sorted order if there is a smaller or equal cactus to the south and to the west, and a larger or equal cactus to the north and to the east. Okay. So essentially the cactus must be sorted in increasing X and Y directions for them to drop anything. If a cactus is at the edge of the field, only the existing neighboring fields need to be corrected for it to be sorted. Size of a cactus can be measured with measure, always one of these numbers. You can swap a, oh Jesus. You can swap a cactus with its neighbor in any direction using the swap command. So swap and then the direction swaps the object under the drone with the object one tile in the direction of the drone. Okay. Okay. I have no clue what to do with that. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. So let's start. I mean, let's do a simple trade for items.cactus seed, right? So that we can get that going. I also have to, I feel like I've mentioned this at some point, but I typically have my hotkeys to start and stop my recording as an equal sign. I have to turn those off when I play this game, or else I accidentally screw everything up. So items.cactus seed costs 10 treasure chests per. That's disgusting. That is really disgusting. So just set me up a while true on this, and I'm just gonna burn through all of my treasure chests to make cactus seeds for right now, just so that we have a chunk of them to mess around with. And then let's plant. Okay, let's plant a set of cactuses just to see, right? I want to see what this looks like, and then hopefully that can help me to square away my life here. Let's move you back to the top. Do I have a function for that? I know I do. I know I have my go-to 0 get world size is technically what it would be. Okay. So go to 0 get world size. Apparently that puts me in an infinite loop. My code is actually just completely busted. It is busted beyond repair. Go to 0. It's get world size -1, dude. It's get world size -1 because we don't account for if it cannot go to that spot. We would never try to run this to not go to that spot. Okay, that's fine. And then let's plant cactuses. So now we have all of our cactuses. So theoretically, I mean, let's look at this again here. When you harvest a cactus, all of them are harvested, but a cactus only drops cactus items when harvested in sorted order. So if there is a smaller or equal to the south and west, smaller or equal to the south and west. So if we're in 0, 0, south and west does not exist. So then we move to 0, 1. And we check. We need to build the grid. We need to build the grid in a dictionary, okay? Because we need to store the measurements of all of the cactuses, I think. I'm not sure there's any other better way to do this. I mean, maybe there is. The problem is that it's very hard to judge. See, and this sucks. This sucks. Swap a cactus with its neighbor in any direction using swap. Swap and then direction swaps the object with the object in that direction. So theoretically, we could swap. We would look at this cactus right here, and we would go, well, to the south is bigger. So if he's bigger, swap, right? I mean, that's kind of the algorithm at that point. Is we'll basically, maybe this is easier to write than we think, right? Maybe this is easier to write than we think. So we're going to go in order, okay? And we'll just start at the top, and we're going to measure our cactus. So current cactus is going to be equal to measure, okay? And that's going to give us an integer, 0 through 9. And then we want to check the south and the west. So we are going to, if x is equal to 0, that means that we are in, no, it's actually if y is equal to 0, because we're going to move. We're going to move south after this. And then here we're going to move east. So we don't want to wrap around. That's the really important part, is or do we want to wrap around? If the cactus is at the edge of the field, only the existing neighboring fields need to be correct. Okay. So we do not have to wrap around. / we do not want to wrap around. So we need to determine if we're on an edge. Okay, so we're gonna make a new function for this, which is on edge. Okay, and I am definitely on edge right now. And this is going to pass in. It's gonna pass in a coordinate, right? So this is gonna pass in an x and a y, and we're going to check if x is equal to, if x is equal to 0, or x is equal to get world size -1. If x is equal to 0, or x is equal to get world size -1, and y is equal to 0, or y is equal to get world size -1, right? Then this we would return true, that you are on an edge, else we will return false. Okay, so this, we should be able to say if, let's grab another little tester script. We can use our debugger here. So let's run a print on edge right now, and we'll pass in get x position. I don't remember what that, get position x, and get position y. Okay. So this, we error. Why do we error? Because I'm missing a parentheses. Okay. So that is true, because we are on an edge. Now I would like to move you. I'd like to move you south 1. We're just gonna test in a couple different spots. I'm pretty sure that this. Why are those false? Because you are currently at, oh, because y. It's not that y is 0. It's not that y is 0. Yeah, this is not correct logic. hold on. Tyler Brain taking over here. So this is if all of our spots that are edges is 0, if x is equal to 0, or x is equal to get world size, or y is equal to 0, or y is equal to get world size. It's not an and here. That is now true. 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 All of those are true. And now if I move, let's move east. This should be false. Yep. And these will all be false until we reach here where it is true again. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Let's just move you north real quick. Last guarantee, good. Let's just move you west real quick. Still true. Okay, so I feel good. So if we're on an edge, then oh, but that doesn't even that doesn't even really help me, right? Because we have no clue what edge we're on. Like right now we're on an edge, but this would be we don't check north. So we would have to make sure. So if we're on an edge, then you would check. Let's reset you back to. We're just going to reset drone real quick. If we're on an edge, somebody also had the brilliant idea, and maybe I did this somewhere. Reset drone. We can just make reset drone now be go to 0, get world size -1, right? And that way it uses. Is this the correct function? Get world size? Yeah. Get world size -1. That way it actually uses our, albeit janky, right? But our more efficient code than what it was doing before. So it's cool. I like the idea, whoever said that. So if we're on an edge, we want to check if our x equals 0, then we're not going to check south. If our y equals 0, we are not going to check west. If our x equals, these should all be double equals. If our x equals get world size -1, then we're not going to, so that would mean we're on the top. That means we're not going to check north. And if y equals get world size -1, then we are not going to check the east. Okay, so those are the 4 conditions. Let's now build some functions for these, right? This is going to be check direction. And let's build out what this looks like, right? We're going to check direction, passing in some direction. We'll call it dir in this scenario. We are going to move to dir. We're going to measure that spot. This is going to be, we'll just call it M for measure. And then we're going to return M, but before we return M, we're going to do the reverse of the move. So if, let's just, we're going to create another function called reverse. So reverse and then a direction. And this will be if dir equals south, we're going to move north. If dir equals north, we're going to move south. These are all helper functions that, I'll be honest, probably are useful in other places as well, just so that we can quickly move around and handle those reversing scenarios. So you're going to measure that spot, and then you're going to reverse yourself in the same direction, and you're going to return that M. So we're going to measure the current cactus. Then we are going to check the direction. So if we're on an edge, we're going to do this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to do the normal approach, which is we're going to do these edge cases after the fact. So otherwise, we're going to check direction south, and this is going to return a size, okay? And then if size is greater than our current cactus, then we are going to swap south, okay? Does this make sense? So we want to Is it greater? Hold on. South and west needs to be smaller. So if the size of our one to the south or west is greater, then we swap it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think that that's fine. Then you're going to check the west, okay? Then size equals check direction west. And we're going to need to do this. This is not going to be efficient the way that I'm writing it, but I'm kind of just writing code and hoping for the best right now. When you're doing it live, you know what? We'll see how things go. If size is greater than that, swap west. So let's test this, okay? And I'm going to test it by putting it over here for right now. I'm gonna grab way too much indentation. I agree wholeheartedly with you. Way too much. You're gonna say, Tyler, you need to untabify. Yeah, the untabify has the Steam overlay pop up. I don't want to redo the Steam overlay because frankly, I've had the Steam overlay for 11 years on Shift Tab. I really don't want to change that for a game that I've played for 7 hours. So I'm okay. I promise you, it will be fine. Okay, so we'll check this guy. Let's move him to a more opportune location for me. That opportune location is going to be 1-1 for right now. So you're going to go to 1-1. That's going to be this spot right here. You're going to check the south. The south is not larger than this, so it is not going to swap. Then it's going to check the west. If the cactus here, now they look the same to me. They look the same to me, but maybe they'll swap. It goes so fast, man. The file this function is defined in has a syntax error. Yeah, good point. I mean, that's fine for right now. Just pass in these so that we don't have a syntax error. Also, this is probably a really great time for us to take a look at this debug too. I don't have any treasure chests. I would really like to slow down the grid a little bit, but it's fine. So, still an error. Current cactus has not been assigned. Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely need him. Okay. So, theoretically, those would have swapped if they needed to be swapped. Let's move you to 1-5 instead. You actually performed the swap. I didn't want to move you to 1-5. I wanted to move you to 5-1. We should see these two get swapped. Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. So that works pretty well, to be honest with you. Then you will do the same thing for north and west, but slightly different. So let's write this in a loop now. For dir in the list southwest, and we'll put this here, and then we'll change you to be dir. We'll change you to be dir, and then we will do the exact same thing, but this will be for north, and this will be for east. And then instead of greater than, it's less than. And these should be greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Because it did say in here that if it is larger or equal, smaller or equal, then it's fine. So those would be in sorted order. So this is a start for sure. I don't mind this at all. What I kind of want to do for right now is if I'm just going to say if true for this, and then I'm just going to set up a while true here, because theoretically, and maybe I'm crazy on this one, we should see this kind of sort itself over time. I want that if false, not if true, because then it's always going to enter into there. So now you're going to start swapping. And it's going to take you time to get these all into the appropriate position. But over time, we should gradually see the larger ones move to the top right, and the smaller ones move to the bottom left, until there is no swap being made anymore. And that's exactly what happened here. This is actually very cool. This is very, very cool. Efficient? No. Not at all. But it's very cool. I mean, we really didn't even need the edge cases in here. Eventually, he's just gonna finish it. I mean, there's a chance he's gonna keep swapping them forever. But it's pretty good, okay? It's pretty good. So then, at some point, you would harvest, right? I don't know when that harvest would be. I'm assuming that if I harvested this right now, I have 343 cactuses because they were in the right order, believe it or not. So this actually works. Is it fully automated? No. And is it good? No. I mean that's pretty obvious. It's not. I also I'm a sucker for expanding the farm, and I'm kind of a sucker for increasing the speed of the drone too. I know that we don't need to do that, okay? We really don't need to do that. But it's fine. So what do we need to do to make this now fully automated? Because we have to check. We have to do more checks on the swapping. The problem is that the swapping is always going to. Actually, you know what? We don't want to swap if it's equal. Okay? We really only want to swap if it's greater than or less than. I kind of thought about that wrong. And now I kind of want to take a look at the swap function, which I'm assuming is at near the bottom of this. It's not. Where is swap in here? Because if we can do like an if swap and have it return a yes or a no, true or false on if it swapped, that could be huge for us. Plant, range, swap. Here we go. Returns none. Swaps doesn't work on all entities. Works if one or both is none. Yeah, so it doesn't return whether or not it's swapped. But we can count, right? We can do a count on time swapping. So essentially, here's how we'll do it. We'll set up a counter variable, right? And the count is going to start at 0. And if we swap, we're going to increase count, okay? So this will increase if we swap. And then we'll basically just say up here, well, we'll do it at the bottom of the loop as a whole. If count is still equal to 0 at the end, meaning that the swapping has not occurred, we've never swapped, so count is still equal to 0, then harvest, reset the drone, and then go again, right? And we're basically going to start by doing a planting up here. So let's entities dot cactus. We're going to plant ya. I only have so many cactus seeds that I can do some testing with this today. I'll have to run more mazes. I'm gonna have to steal one of your guys's. I gotta steal one of your guys's maze designs so that I can just run it and collect some treasure chests. Because my maze design is just not good, and I'm willing to admit that for sure. I genuinely, it's gonna sound crazy. I think that this is just good enough to run, except for the part where we are not doing crap. Did I do something wrong here? Plant entities.cactus. Can I stop this? do a how do I harvest my plate? I'm telling you, it's been way too long, man. It's been way too long. Harvest grid is what we want. Harvest grid. Harvest the damn grid. And then at the top of this, we're going to reset drone. I'm gonna do that outside the loop, actually. Just like right here. Reset drone. We do want to make sure that if get entity type is not equal to entities.cactus, then plant. Otherwise, we do not want to plant, right? And then let's see what happens. So you planted one cactus and then you cried on me. Operator cannot be used on operands none and... Do you not grow my cactus immediately? You son of a gun. I can't call measure on my current cactus before it's grown. Okay, then you know what? This is fine. We're gonna start by planting all the cactuses. For the other one, this worked where you could measure the sunflowers as you plant them. It appears that maybe this one you cannot. Oh no, we still have the same issue here. Why is this all messed up? Operator, are you currently a 9? Is size not returning? What did I do? Check direction of a dir for dir in this. We will go south. This was definitely working like a second ago. What did I break? Yeah, you definitely will not move. So size right now is none. So check direction, returning M. But how would you even get into that right now? You should be planting cactuses before we get into that. For X in get world size. That should that be -1? No. It's fine. Oh, I don't have my move souths in here. Hold on. Come into here. Move south. Move east. When there's no cactuses, it is hard to measure them. Okay. Reset my grid. Harvest grid. Technically, that cactus worked because... Hold on. Something... Did we miss something with the cactuses? Cactus. Number of cactus items dropped per cactus is equal to the world size. When you harvest a cacti, all on the field, only drops if they're in sorted order. Am I crazy? Hold on. Plant entities.cactus. Okay, you have planted a nice little cactus right there. We can move some of these up and out of the way. And now I'd like you to harvest this cactus. Okay. We have 343. You did not give me any. Okay. So I guess you're still not in order. Let's run our code. Okay, you've planted cactuses. Now you start measuring, you start swapping. And as long as you are still swapping, then we should not harvest. It's only... Well, I'm a little bit concerned why you did that entire... Oh, you did that entire run through because you have to do this again, which is annoying. We can resolve that. Okay, still swapping. Because it's obviously unnecessary for him to do the entire grid again. This does work. The most efficient? Absolutely not, okay? Absolutely not. But it's not horrible, okay? It's not horrible. And it's really going to be much better now, to the point where, honestly, we harvest? You're still doing some tiny swaps in here. I feel like we're getting real close to that sweet harvest. No, you are still trying to swap. I feel like they're in order. Nothing is swapping, bro. I mean, those are in order and they aren't moving. Why? How do I get out of the grid now? Cause obviously, like, that was definitely correct. It was definitely correct. Okay, so my count system doesn't work here because we're still managing to get into here. We also want to we want to do this slightly differently. We're gonna put another while true here, which I know is horrible coding practice. I'm not gonna deny that. But if you harvest, we're going to break. But I need a better way. I need a better way to know that we're going to harvest. The other approach is, theoretically, we could calculate how many times the grid has to go through before it would likely be good to swap or to harvest, which is this is a nutso move, okay? So while we'll do a 4i in range 10, okay? We're going to go 10 times. And then once we are done with those 10 times, I'm gonna harvest. And let's just humor it, okay? Let's just humor it. I think that there is a slightly realistic chance. I think there's a slightly realistic chance that 10 times looping through is going to be enough swapping to get it into place. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm absolutely insane. But this was one run through. Now you're into run through number 2. Could be the boringest code ever to watch. It's still horribly inefficient, but I'm gonna tell you, my brain, besides again creating a proper dictionary grid of the entire board and then processing things in a little bit of a weird way. Besides doing that, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, this is already close to good. I think it might actually be good on this one. So this was 6 for the record, which is not bad. That's really not bad. I think it's the edge cases that are making this break, by the way. So this should be all good to go. Now, I can change this to 4 iron range 6, and it probably just works fine. It's taking the extra time because it's doing so many swaps, man. It is also, like, moving back and forth across a bunch of squares each time. If we could keep track of, like, this spot is good, then we don't have to perform this action, and this would speed up a little bit. Obviously, right now it's slow because we should be harvesting at this point. This is like wave 8 of 10, maybe 9. This might be the 10th. At this point, I stopped keeping track. And harvest? No, maybe 10 now. It's like you can tell that it only tries to swap on edges because it's looking below and it's finding that this is okay. So that worked. That absolutely worked. I'm not displeased about this for what it's worth, but I do think that we can resolve this by fixing this. So if x equals 0, we're not going to check south. So we're just going to... You're gonna hate this, okay? You're gonna hate this. We're going to basically just do this code, okay? You're going to check west, and then you're going to do north and east, okay? Then for this one, we're not, so this one's not going to check south. This one is not going to check west. So we'll put you in here. This is, we're not checking west, so instead we're checking south. We're going to do south. This should be west. We need those weird edge cases, man. So this will now be if on edge. If on edge, because that returns a true or false, so that should be fine. Then you grab all this, and if I copy and paste this correctly, it'll make it a lot easier for me. So this one is not going to check north. So now we can bring back in this. Sorry if this is like the most painful thing you've ever seen in your life. I feel like this is so painful to witness. So this is now, we can remove this loop, bring this back around. We will check the direction of not north, so east. And then this is east. And then for my last trick, it'll be, this is north, and this is north. Right? Because you're not going to check east. So now we have all of our conditions. This is a massive script for sure. Let's plant our cactuses. Let's see how you go. Immediately erroring because on edge I need to pass in my positions. So get position X, get position Y. And then I'm going to rebring this back out here. So while count is not equal to 0, we're going to define while count is not equal to 0, we're going to define count equal to 1 here, and then we're going to define count equal to 0 inside of it. I know that sounds so psychotic, but we have to basically make sure that we keep him. We're using count as the variable in here. I mean, this is, I'm writing some psycho code, but that's part of the fun, right? That's part of the fun. The worst part is there's going to be one person in the comments that is like, I don't know, makes sense to me. And you're going to be like, your code's completely fine, Tyler. And then there's going to be somebody that's like, I watched this video and I considered ending it all. And I'm going to go, you know what? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Okay, I have a feeling that something is horrifically wrong here, but let's see. So you're going to start swapping. And as long as swapping is occurring, the crazy part is this might be less efficient now because it's not gonna send the larger cactuses from the bottom to the top as before. I don't know. It's actually moving pretty efficiently. It's moving pretty damn efficiently, actually. Slowly pushing them to where they need to be. Takes a little bit of time, okay? I mean, I would love to have a way to speed this up a little bit quicker, but it well and truly, it's just a little tricky, okay? It's a little tricky. We are not in order yet. I know it's looking okay, right? It's looking okay, but it's not in order yet. My issue is that I'm afraid that it may never be in order. It's still performing quite a lot of swaps, but nothing is moving. It's still doing a swap somewhere. You can hear it, right? Especially over here. It's not properly checking on edge. No, it is properly checking on edge, I'm gonna tell you. But it's still performing some swaps in there. Because this is obviously completely fine now. We can all see that. You can harvest it. Hey, we're up to almost 2,000 cactuses, which is close enough to unlock this. I need a better I need a better maze function. I'm gonna steal one of your guys' maze functions between episodes. Okay. I think that we can probably just say while looper is not equal to 6. And then let's set up a looper well, I could have just done count still. While count is not equal to 6. Let's start count at 0. Let's continue to increase count, but we're not going to do it in any of these. We're going to do it. Scroll all the way down here. This is disgusting. I also realized that we could easily dump this into a function. All of these little statements here. I was just moving fast. I can functionalize this off camera. But outside of here, let's increase count plus equal 1. Because that is count plus equal 1. That'll be outside of this loop, yeah. Okay, I mean, let's see what happens. You plant cactuses. You got 6 loops to swap everybody to where they need to be. Can you do it? It's like a party game. You're racing against the clock. You got 6 loops to make the most efficient cactus farm you ever damn seen. Can you do it? I'm gonna tell you this looks a little sketchy. Because we're already on loop 3, I think. Nah, dude, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think that 6 is a bit of a magic number. We have a problem with those cactuses in the top left are... They got issues, I think. I think I only got 1 more loop, and these do not look ready for prime time, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know, they're okay. They're okay. This is last loop. You gotta get into position on this one. And we're at 1.87k. We should see a harvest right after this. Nothing is moving. Really? You're still going? Am I maybe I counted wrong? I might have counted wrong. That's possible. And a harvest. And it worked. I can bring you down to 5. I can bring you down to 5. Okay? Now we do not need this break anymore. And it should run infinitely. Is it running infinitely correctly? That's a different... it's a very different note. Why'd you break, man? I ran out of cactus seeds. That's why. Okay. Well, you know what? It's... I mean, look. I'll... Let me run the... Let me run the script here. You'll wonder why I have a million do flips in here. Why are you not planting a bush for me? Plant a bush, brilliant. I just like to wait for that bush to grow and then I harvest. We basically just we pray that it collects the chests in time. I try to loop 10 times. Yeah, so now it gets stuck. So now you like stop it and then reverse it and hope it can get to 10 again. And eventually what I do is I just like he finds himself in an infinite loop all the time. I basically try to get him to a point where I feel happy harvesting and then I harvest. It's truly this is a heinous crime what I'm doing here. So now you just move south. And then you harvest so that you can get a couple of treasure chests. That was 3,000 treasure chests right there. And then we're gonna wild true trade for cactus seeds. It's items dot cactus seed. Brilliant. And let's just stack another large collection of them. I just want to see our cactus script run in its entirety. Hey, can you not? At the beginning of this, we need to harvest grid. And then reset drone. That's still, it just mowing through that. God, it looks good. It looks the absolute best. So now you got 5 waves to do this correctly. I have faith, I really do. I have faith. I think that 5 is enough. I'm sure that there's actually like a mathematical number for swaps here to know how many it would take to swap through here. I'm a little concerned because there is some big lads that are still sitting at the bottom here. I mean it's actually fine, I think. I think it's just plenty fine. There's still some that are a little janky, but I think he's okay. I'm not horribly proud of this code, but I'm not disappointed in it either. I'm gonna tell you. Like I think that this is surprisingly effective for throwing something together without any prep whatsoever. Like I'm kind of happy 50 minutes into this one coming up with this. I think it could be better for sure. It is slow. I mean, it's definitely slow. You come out of it with a good chunk of cactuses, but he is slow. Like it's one that I gotta let it run for a while if we need cactuses in a very large degree. Let's just say I ain't making it on the leaderboard with this solution, but it is a solution, so I'm there for it. I'll be interested to see what you guys came up with. Do we got one more loop on this wave? Absolutely. We should be very fine here. They are all good. There is still a swap occurring on the edges. That is problematic, but that worked fine. I mean, this works. This works. And five appears to be the magic number. Sometimes it takes 5, sometimes it takes 4. Really just depends on the cactuses planted. Maybe there is efficiencies in putting looping into this. I think that it was fun to write an on edge function, just as a fun little function to write. You know, something new for us to write that adds a little bit of extra flair to this episode. I mean, these are effectively like already in order. They're just fine, man. They're just fine. You know, minor efficiencies here and there. Yeah, my on edge, something I have very, very wrong here. Because we should not hear a swap on the edges, but it definitely tries to swap. Yeah, that just works. Dude, I'm pleased. Look, that's going to do it for this episode of Farmer Was Replaced. I'm not even going to give you the whole spiel about 1,000 likes, I'll do another. I'll probably do another because I would feel wrong not giving you dinosaurs. I'm not going to do polycultures, I'm going to warn you now. I just don't care about it. But I want to know what dinosaurs are, so we're going to at least do that. I'm gonna take my... I'll keep my script for... my horrible code for the treasure chests, but I'm going to copy one of your guys' scripts in and just use that to solve treasure chests. And that's that. Fun times, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for all the support on this series. Means the world to me. Again, super fun one for me. Just to be able to share another side of my life with you guys in the form of these coding videos. I had a lot of fun with this. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.